Alright, let's look at the homework 1.4, 1.5, problem number 11. Alright, so let's evaluate this limit. Alright, so first thing we would do is I'm going to just multiply out and simplify it as much as possible. So, and then we're going to take care of the limit later. So it's going to be a limit delta t approaches 0, right? Then we're going to multiply out. So t plus delta t squared is t squared plus 2t times delta t plus delta t squared, right? Here I'm actually using this. Remember that if you have a plus b squared is a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. All right, so that's what I'm using here. So you're thinking of this is a and this is b. All right, then I'm going to distribute -2 to each of these terms in the parentheses. So we're going to have -2t minus 2 delta t, right? And then we have plus 5. And then we can distribute this negative sign to each terms here, right? So we will get negative t squared. -2 becomes positive 2t and minus 5. And all over delta t, right? Then we can do some cancellation here, right? So you have a t squared minus t squared, right? There's 2t, let's see, there's a negative 2t here, and there's a positive 2t there. And then you have a positive 5, and then there's a negative 5, right? So there are, let's see, 1, here's the leftover term, and here's another term here, and there's negative 2t, right? So there are 3 terms left over, and what you can do is, since all 3 terms have at least 1 delta t in it, so I'm going to factor it out. So you have a limit as delta t approaches 0, right? And so delta t is factored out, right? So if you factor out delta t from 2t delta t, you're going to have 2t left. We're going to factor out delta t from delta t squared, so you have another delta t left over. And the negative 2 delta t is factored out, so you have a negative 2 left over. All right. Then we still have delta t on the bottom, right? Then we can just cancel common factor on top, delta t on top, and delta t on the bottom, because delta t divided by delta t is 1. All right, then we're going to take the limit. So delta t approaches 0, which means that this guy approaches 0. All right, so what's left is 2t minus 2. So therefore, this is 2t minus 2. All right, so let's type it in. All right, so what we got was 2t minus 2. All right, let's check the answer. All right, I came back and looks like we got this one correctly here. All right, that's it. I hope that this was clear.